Are you a salesperson looking to manage your time? Watch this video. Hey, Rob Spencer here, the Managing Director of Paragon Sales Solutions. Now, if you've found this video, the likelihood of it is that you're a salesperson and you're looking to manage your time more effectively. Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you, I've got 5 hints and tips on how you can manage your time more effectively. And these tips have been brought about from first-hand knowledge. These are all tips that I've put into place myself, but they're also tips in which I've shared with sales teams that I've managed and sales teams that I've consulted for, and I found great success in them. Now look, there's plenty of ways in which you can manage your time. There's no wrong or right ways. My argument is that you've got to find what works for you, okay? However, it's very important that we manage our time. As salespeople, we are busy fools at times. We've got 1,000,001 things to do. We've got to prospect, we've got to follow up, we've got to file the paperwork, we've got to do the closing, we've got to run reports, we've got to hit the targets. We've got to have a social life. There's so much stuff we need to do, so it's very important we keep an eye on our time so that we can work more effectively. Now, before we do go on to these 5 tips, I'm going to ask of you a favour. Please hit that subscribe button, drop us a follow, depending on which platform you're watching us on, hit the like button, and drop us a comment below saying time, just so I know who's watching the video. Now, tip number 1 is to set your goals and priorities. It's amazing how time can become lost, especially when we start to procrastinate because we don't really know what we're doing, or we feel a bit overwhelmed, or because we're lacking that motivation. So set our goals and our priorities. Now this can be done over a year, it can be done by a quarter, it can be done by a week, it can be done by a day. Once again, whatever works for you. Some salespeople I work with, they like to have mood boards of, fancy cars, houses, holidays with their kids, whatever it is. Find what works for you, because you'll find that in doing so, you'll stay motivated. In those times where you need to crack on, you will truly crack on. And I guess that brings us to point number 2, which is to break these tasks down into smaller chunks. Once again, if we have set our goals and priorities and we know that we need to make £10,000 worth of sales in June, for argument's sake, we know that £10,000 can be a bit big and daunting. We don't know how to do it. So what we need to do is break that down into those smaller chunks so that we know day by day what we need to be doing, what we need to be doing week by week, and so on and so forth. Tip number 3 is to look to delegate or outsource. Once again, it's amazing how many salespeople do tasks that aren't related to selling. I'm not disagreeing and saying that admin and other tasks such as that aren't important, because they truly are. We need to be doing those things. But there's so many tasks that salespeople somehow get wound up into doing, and they end up not selling. And if you're not selling, you're not then a salesperson, and then you're not hitting your targets, and then you're losing time. So is there anything that you can delegate to your teammates, your colleagues, your receptionist, your PA, whoever it is? And if not, can you outsource anything? If you're a business owner potentially, or you're a sales director, is anything you can outsource? Can you get a telemarketing agency such as Paragon Sales Solutions to do your prospecting for you? Can you get a PA to, or a VA to just, send your emails on your behalf? Is there anything that you can get off of your to-do list? That then takes us on to tip number 4, which is to automate. Now, if you've watched any of my content, if you're watching any of my videos, you'll know that I'm not a massive fan of overly automating anything. Robots scare the hell out of me. However, there is some tasks that could potentially be automated that could save you time, whether it's to send follow-up emails, whether it's to download reports automatically from your CRM systems. There's lots of automation available out there that won't devalue your job and won't devalue the relationship you have with your prospect, but will help you to free up some time. And look, tip number 5 is to give yourself a break and take breaks. Once again, it's amazing how in our day we can end up wasting time procrastinating or wasting time because we're on a verge of a burnout, whether that's quite a big burnout or just like a daily burnout. We can, wake up from a weird coma of scrolling through TikTok because we do genuinely feel burnt out. Take a break, get away from the desk, take that walk, spend time with your family, play the guitar, play on your PlayStation, whatever it is, do what makes your mind rest. Because normally what I find in that rest period, you find clarity, which is what allows you to drive forward. So there's 5 simple tips on how you can manage your time effectively as a salesperson. There's a lot of tips we could potentially share with you, but we don't have time today. So if you do want to learn more, obviously you hit subscribe, you'll get a free weekly video every single week, or head on over to Paragon Sales Solutions where you'll find an array of sales training, sales resources, sales advice that's going to help you to sell more. Thank you so much for making it this far in the video and for taking the time to watch the video. Until next week, all the best.